Today, we're going to delve into our fascinating world of education, explore the age-old saying of picture is worth a thousand. You ever really thought about this in education? We, as educators, love to use graphics, but is that a good thing? In today's fast-paced world where information overload is really the norm now, the ability to effectively communicate ideas is much more important than ever. And I think that's where visuals come into play. They have a unique power to transcend language, capture attention, stimulate our imagination, and create that words alone a lot of the time. Whether it's a captivating photograph, an informative infographic, or a thought-provoking illustration, visuals have the remarkable ability to engage our senses and evoke emotions, making them a very powerful tool for teaching and learning. But is it a, what is it about visuals that makes them so effective? And how effective really are they? That's what we're here to explore today. I stumbled upon a really good and intriguing article by David Kelly titled "A Picture is Usually Worth a Thousand Words," and it really dives into this topic. First off, visuals have the remarkable ability to convey that they have the remarkable ability to convey ideas in a way words sometimes can't. They usually convey it in a very concise, digestible manner. Think about it. When you see a diagram or a chart or an infographic, it's often a lot easier to grasp that information than compared to just reading a lengthy block of text. Our brains are wired to process visual information a lot faster and more efficiently, and that makes it a pretty valuable tool for us educators. Take, for example, the use of timelines in history class. Instead of slogging through pages of text describing the sequences of events, students can visually follow timelines, pinpoint key dates, and understanding the chronological flow of our history at a glance. Not only simplifies the process, but also enables students to make connections between different historical periods, fostering a deeper understanding of history sometimes. Similarly, in something like science class, visuals and graphics and diagrams are an indispensable way for illustrating very complex concepts, like stuff for something like the water cycle, the photosynthesis, or the human body. By presenting this information visually, educators are able to break down very complex issues to digestible and really just more more visual parts, or and precisely for a lot of our very visible processes. And it's a very important thing. Also, visuals do serve as very powerful memory aids. Research has shown that we're more likely to remember information when it's presented in a visual form. Whether it's a memorable image, an engaging infographic, a striking diagram, visuals have the ability to leave a lasting impression on our minds, facilitating better recall of that information in the future. But it isn't just comprehension. Visuals also foster creativity and critical thinking. When students are presented with visual stimuli, they're often encouraged to analyze, interpret, and draw their own conclusions. It sparks a big curiosity and encourages them to explore the subject further themselves, ultimately deepening their understanding in whatever they're being taught. By incorporating visuals into lessons, educators can create a much more dynamic learning environment where students are actively engaged and empowered to think critically, creatively, and analytically. So I think it's important to harness the power of visuals in education and to enhance students' comprehension, curiosity, and to inspire a lifelong love of learning. Now, the article does also delve into some of the downsides of visuals in education. And a lot of the downsides are not really downsides of visuals themselves. They're downsides of educators. One thing it really delves into and why it's a usually um, really is the bad the visuals that aren't engaging. For example, visuals that just like either have too much information and just turn into a wall of text themselves, or visuals that just don't like comprehend, don't encompass the issue, like visuals that really leave things out. And it really kind of tried to drive that point home that sometimes visuals can be bad, but if you learn how to do them right, and if you really try your hardest to incorporate, build, and just learn how to make visuals, you can have a very, very helpful and just good teaching tool to put in your toolbox. They also delve into kind of wrapping back to comprehension, something like history is something that is a very hard thing to learn sometimes. And I went to a social studies convention a couple weeks back, and there's a whole section talking about how to use art in education, in history education. And that's a visual. Art is one of the most important visuals in history, especially, I think. Especially if you're teaching something that doesn't have photos. And I think it's a very good way to, like I said earlier, to encourage creativity, to encourage students to come to their own conclusions. Because a lot of the time in history, we don't encourage that with students. We teach the test conclusion, and that's it. But I think it's very important to let students see firsthand accounts, whether it be long documents, those are usually the best, but they're usually the hardest because they're not rote for a high schooler or elementary schooler or middle schooler to be able to really read and comprehend. But if you show them art and a, a drawing of it, it's usually a lot easier to put yourself in it and to wrap your head into it. And I think, especially in history, that is a truly, really amazingly important thing. I mean, in conclusion, the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words, truly holds true in education. More than ever, visuals have the power to simplify a lot of complex concepts, foster creativity, cater to really diverse learning styles in the classroom. So I think as teachers and as educators, we should all embrace the power of visuals, but make sure to keep in mind that our visuals need to be good. Students aren't going to be able to comprehend bad visuals, but when you have visuals that they can comprehend and that really teach them stuff, it is an invaluable tool for learning and education. I think that's it. Thank you for tuning in today. And until next time, keep learning. Thank you.